Okay, next, let's talk a little bit about electronic communications. We have what, of course, we call net etiquette, right? It's netiquette, internet etiquette, netiquette. And did you know internet is actually an acronym for international networks? Internet? Well, netiquette is network etiquette, so they put them together. But we have strategies for netiquette. One is write the way you speak, conversationally. You don't want it just abrupt and abrasive, but just like you're having a conversation with someone. Know your audience, right? Know who is going to receive the message. When you're sending an email, provide a descriptive subject. That is what makes the difference if it gets read right away. If I get a message from a student and it says, "Hi," that's not the subject. What is the subject? What are you talking about? If the subject is management club, then put management club. If the subject is recommendation letter, put recommendation letter. But be as specific as possible with your subject. And then in the first line, reiterate that information. So if I have a meeting, maybe I have let's say a university library committee meeting. So I might put library committee. I might even put LIBCOM, WED, Wednesday, 2 o'clock. Okay, I want it to appear on the email, and if I have too many characters, it's going to ... We're not going to see it all. So knowing my audience, if it says LibCom Wed 2 o'clock, they know, oh, she's just reminding us of the meeting. In the first line of my email, just a reminder, our library committee will meet on Wednesday, October 4th at 2 o'clock in the library room 36. So that, and period, please bring whatever, so that everybody knows what the expectation is. The agenda is attached, right? Watch your tone in an email. You lose the how you say it. Be careful of emoticons. You put all these little smiley faces and flowers and everything else, people are going to think you're flighty, not serious. Once in a while, it might be fine, or you can even put the word smile in parentheses. But be really careful how you word something, because people will read an electronic message and they don't know how to take it. Is it sarcastic? Is that person mad at me? I don't know what that means. So we want to avoid any unintended consequences. That red exclamation mark, high importance, only use it when it is critical. We have an AA in the college, and she likes to use that red exclamation mark on all her emails. And it's really annoying because, first of all, when I first came and I had all these red exclamation marks, you know, it was like, oh my gosh, I got to read this right now. I have to go to class. Oh, but I have to read this. It has a red exclamation mark. It must be really important. And it said something like, for the potluck on Friday, please sign up for what you'd like to bring. Well, that's not high importance. You know, high importance to me would be something like, we need your signature so you get paid next week. Okay, that would be high importance. But she does this all the time. So what happens? It's like the boy who cried wolf. We now get an email from her with that red exclamation mark. I'm not going to look at it. I'll look at it in 3 days. It's not all that important. Well, one of these days it's going to be important. And nobody's going to look at it because of the past experience. Copying other people, don't copy everybody. Copy who really needs to know. If they don't need to know, don't copy them. You don't need to copy people just to show them that you're working. Should you have an attachment, or should you have it in the content of the message? Well, think about the purpose. Do I want them to be able to print out that attachment or to save it as a Word document or an Excel document? Do I want them to be able to make changes? Should I make it a PDF? Now, if you have it as an attachment, it's not as apt to get read immediately. If it's part of the body, it's more apt to be read immediately. But then it's not a reference. I can't really save it. I can put it in an electronic folder, but I can't just save that text into my documents. So, think about that as well. Another thing, be careful of, we said the copying, we said the importance, we said the subject. You've got the body in there. Do not put the recipient's email address until you're ready to send. So once you have who it's copying to, subject, any other documentation that you need, attachments. Now Word is really getting helpful once in a while. Now it even asks you, did you forget to attach something? Yeah, I did. I do that a lot. So attach the file and then send it. But if you put that person's email in there as the recipient right away, oftentimes we click send too quickly. Oh, I forgot to put the attachment. So then you got to go back, you create more work for yourself. You have to send the attachment, and basically, I will say, oops, forgot to send the attachment. Here it is. So, think about it beforehand. And write an email. Email is the predominant form of communication within 99.8% of organizations. It is a formal communication now. When it first came out, it was informal. Then it was kind of semi-formal. Well, now, formal communication. You need punctuation, grammar, paragraphs, good sentence structure. All very important. You can bold, you can underline, you can use bullets. Format for readability. But use all of the syntax rules that you know. It's even helpful to compose your messages offline, even compose them in Word. I'll compose documents in Word and save it, because then I know next year I'm going to be looking for that document. I'm going to put it in an email, but I'm just going to copy and paste the text into the body of the email. And I also have it for next year, so I don't have to retype it again. I just have to change a date or so. Go through and proofread. It's like that text. You text on your phone, you hit send. As soon as you hit send, oh, it auto-corrected. Dang it. So then you have to send, I didn't mean went, I meant what, or whatever it might be. So, think about all of those aspects. Check your email regularly. Usually we say you expect a reply within 2 business days. So if it's the weekend, if Monday's a holiday, I send it Friday, I've got to give you until Wednesday before I want to resend the message or pick up the phone and call you. Of course, do not use all capital letters. That's equivalent to yelling at someone. Don't use red text unless you need to distinguish red from something else. But red and capital letters makes it look like you're angry. Always capitalize personal pronoun I. And like I said, grammar, punctuation, spelling, sentence structure, critical. If you are responding to someone's message, make sure you are answering all the person's questions or concerns. If you are requesting information, make it as easy as possible for that person to respond. Bullet or 1, 2, 3, enumerate. And then they can reply either at the top with 1, 2, 3, corresponding numbers, or what I'll do is put see my responses in blue below, and then I just answer right next to the question. That way I make sure I cover everything, I answer all the questions, and so it helps both the sender and the receiver. And be very careful of flaming. Flaming is when you're mad. You read the email and it just totally ticks you off. I can't believe he said that. When you start typing and then you hit send. Well, And then you go to lunch and you come back and you're like, ooh, I probably shouldn't have sent that. Well, don't do that. So you want to reply, hit reply, take the sender or the recipient out of the to, type up your message, go to lunch. Don't send it, go to lunch. Come back, read the email again. Oh, that's my response. Oof, I'm glad I didn't send that. You want to make sure that you're not flaming, you're responding in anger. So you'll be glad you waited. Or sleep on it, and look at it again the next day. With everything we have talked about so far in this 8 weeks, bottom line, have a communication strategy. What is the purpose? Identify the purpose. It should be clear to the reader. Know your audience. What does the audience know? What does the audience need to know? Based upon the purpose and the audience, determine the medium, the channel, and the format. Use the you perspective, and all the time maintain professionalism. It is an impression of you. How do you want people to perceive you? Maintain professionalism. Don't raise your voice. Always have excellent conduct. We don't, what do they say? We don't demand respect. We command it, which means we earn it. And the way to do that is to be the epitome of a professional.